Hey guys, today we are here at a Supercar show here at Hanson of Sonoma. Ever since I was a little kid, I always wondered what these people did to be able to afford those cars, and today we're gonna find out. Let's go. What's your name, age, and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Ron Brown. I am 36 years old, and I am an engineering manager at Netflix.
What's your advice for someone that wants to get into what you do?
It's a good question. Make sure you really want to do it. You know, it's a lot of grueling, unloved time that you spend getting good at this craft, and it pays off in the end, but honest to God, if you don't like it, it'll burn you out super quick. So make sure you really enjoy it, make sure you like it, and make sure it's something you want to do long term.
What car do you own?
So this is my McLaren 720F, wrapped in satin PPF white.
How long have you had it for, and how much do they go for?
Sure, yeah. So this one was 300,000, and I've had this one for about 6 months.
And what other cars do you own?
So I also own a Porsche Taycan Turbo. It's black, and then I own a AMG GTC in yellow.
Can you share with us like some of the failures you had and what did you do to overcome?
Early failures in my career, and actually really in life, but early in my career, I made a really bad decision about not going to college and then going back to college. So I didn't commit to not going, but I didn't commit to going until really later. And what ended up happening was I kind of set myself back in some ways, because I didn't focus enough early on, and that kind of hurt me. But once I was able to, get my bearings and actually put myself in a good place where I can sit down, focus, learn, get good at what I was doing, it set me right. So it's not to say go or don't go. It's just sit down and think about what you really want to do and focus on that.
What's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Ooh, God, you're asking great questions. Best advice I've ever gotten, measure twice, cut once, honestly. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's easier to double check your work, and it takes a little bit of effort, but sometimes it can go a long way. And especially in engineering, I find that to be really true. So making sure you're sure about the things that you want, you're sure about the decision that you're leaning into, and go and commit. But then when you do, commit.
Do you have any favorite books that you recommend to us?
So I'll say this one because I'm an engineer. Yeah. So I recently read a book called The Staff Engineer by Will Larson. It's a really great narrative / experience book where it talks about what it's like to be an engineer at a very senior level at very large companies, and kind of the different roles that you play depending on the company itself. And there's no single archetype for what that looks like, and it's a title that you see in industry very often, but it's not necessarily something that's singular to a specific company. And so it gives you a lot of breadth into what that looks like and how that feels and what the experience is for many different people across large organizations, a lot of organizations, both big and small.
What makes you happy?
Oh, God. Honestly, cars and family. Cars and family. I have 4-year-old twins, and I get to spend a lot they're a lot. Spend a lot of time with them when I'm not doing car things. I also have a garage here that, is kind of a central place for a lot of people in the area. They can come and we do cars and coffees, and we hold events, and I really like the community. It's a very important thing to me. So making sure that we can create a space for that was really important. But yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. What's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
My name's Rick Alvarez. I'm 36. Oh, actually, I just turned 37. And I work in cybersecurity.
What advice would you give someone that wants to get it into cybersecurity?
RTFM.
RTFM?
Read the docs.
Read the docs?
Yeah, read the documents. You don't need to go to school or anything like that. As long as you can read documentation, you can succeed in this business.
How much can one expect to make in what you do?
Oh, man, you can go upwards to, I guess, $2 million.
$2 million?
Yeah.
Really? Is that the range you're at? Or?
No, that's the sky, right? That's the sky.
All right. So what car do you own right now? Pretty much this one?
I own a GTR T-Spec, one of 100 in the world, one of 35 in the United States. It's a midnight purple. Yeah.
What do you love about your car?
My favorite thing is the glass is stained green to match the interior.
So how fast does this car go?
It has 220 on the dash. I've taken it up to 190.
What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Failure is a part of the recipe, and success comes only once, and you really need it only once. You know what I'm saying? You'll fail 100 times, but as long as you get that one, you're good to go.
What's your biggest failure, and how did you overcome that?
Man, I blew up something in production, and then I went ahead and learned how to get better and learn from my mistakes, and I kept going.
What characteristic makes you successful?
Very determined, right? and I don't give up the first time, right? So as long as you don't give up, you'll get to wherever you're going.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. So what's your name, age, and what do you do?
My name's JD. I am 42, turning 43 next week, and I'm a journeyman lineman, build power lines.
And what can someone do to get into what you do?
I go through an apprenticeship, try to get in the union to get through a accredited apprenticeship, and just work hard.
And what's the best advice for someone who would like own one of these cars one day?
Go out and buy it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because tomorrow's not, guaranteed. So if you want something, just do it. That was his words to me.
That was his words?
Yeah.
All right.
Some of my homeboys, he builds power lines too. That's his Benz.
What's the best advice somebody has ever given you?
Live every day like it's your last.
What makes you happy?
Seeing my friends happy and succeed, for sure. Success of my friends is everything.
Yeah.
So you're only as good as your empire, right? So make sure you take care of your people and your family, and like I bought my parents' house before I bought this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
Good. Yeah, like you succeeded.
Yeah, Yeah, we always got to take care of our parents.
Absolutely.
Help to someone.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any failures in your life that you want to share with us? Can you share a few?
Yeah, life. You gotta you go to work and you hustle, and I've burned up a lot of relationships just because you're always grinding for money, and money is great, but it's not everything. And that's not somebody who's like, I'm not a multimillionaire or nothing, but it's like there has to be a point where you cut that off, and you're going to work for things and your life, but life's so short, dude. Don't burn up your relationships with everybody else over it.
A lot of people out there are scared to jump into this new business, or just to get out there and connect with people.
Sure.
What advice do you give them to put their foot on the water and just jump in?
Just do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, just do it. If there's somebody you want to talk to, if there's something you're interested in doing, obviously research it. I wouldn't go out and buy a $250,000 car if I was only making $500 a week.
Right.
But if you're only making $500 a week and you're only working 20 hours a week, you should probably get another job too.
Right.
Work and put yourself out there. All these guys in this car community, you meet because of cars, and everybody's different. They got guys that are entrepreneurs, you got guys that flip houses or Bitcoin or tech stuff or whatever, and then you got us. You know what I mean? And everybody's cool, man. It's just, but you just meet people and talk to people and go from there. But don't be scared to ever talk to anybody. Yeah. There's a guy with a $2 million car, I'll go up and talk to him right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nobody should ever make you feel below.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something that I'm working on. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So it helps me, but I feel like it also helps people.
Sure.
That they can do it as well. So
Yeah. Just put yourself out there, man.
I love it. Yeah.
The worst is somebody's going to be, kind of rude to you.
Yeah.
But you just chalk it up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Move on. Don't let it crush your spirits on that. Keep it moving and go after somebody else.
Yeah.
All
right. All right, man. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. What's your name, age, and what do you do?
My name is Brad. I am 29, and I work in tech in autonomous vehicles.
What advice do you give to someone that wants to get into what you do?
Just hustle, get a college degree first and foremost, and just follow your dreams. Do what you like the most.
For someone that's scared to start, what advice would you give them?
You just gotta get out there. Gotta do it. Come to events like this, see all these other cars, and just have the dream to do the best you can. I think in life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any failures, and what did you do to overcome them?
Yeah, didn't do that well in college or school in general, but came out of college, really worked extremely hard, moved around a lot, just kind of built my career up.
Yeah.
To be able to afford a GTR like this.
How much did this go for?
It's about 110,000.
110,000. Yep. And how fast does it go?
About 220.
220.
Yep.
So if you could go back a few years, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say invest early. All the money you get, invest it, save it, right? So you can afford this. If you need to postpone it a few years, do it, and it'll pay off.
What do you do to budget and save money?
Like you said, budget, right? Make sure you know every dollar that's coming in, every dollar that's coming out. Never spend more than you can afford.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem.
This guy's
What's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
My name's Mike. I own Wine Country Exotics. It's an exotic car company here in the wine country, based out of Petaluma, California.
What can someone do to get into what you do?
Oh man, I mean, I started out in marketing and advertising. Worked in that for probably like 15 years. Stocks early on, just made the right plays, bro. Just kind of put myself around people that made money and kind of followed suit. That was my biggest motto. Like, put yourself around successful people and you're going to follow and you'll end up successful.
Any advice for someone that that's like afraid to start? Like, what advice would you give them?
Again, dude, just put yourself out there. I think the biggest thing is too many people want to be compensated early on, like right away. They want compensation for putting their time in. My biggest thing, what I tell all my guys, is like, take a step back, put yourself around the right people, and don't expect anything in return. And you do that enough, and I think sooner or later things will work in line, and you'll be able to get these type of cars.
What cars do you own? Can you tell us a little bit about them?
2022 Urus here. I have a 16 Huracan Spider, 18 Huracan Coupe, and a 17 Huracan Coupe.
What's the best advice somebody has ever given to you? Like, let's say when you were in your 20s.
Shit, man, just be genuine. I mean, karma's key. It's just do good things and good things will come back to you. That was really all it is, bro. Just be genuine, be a good person.
Do you have any failures you want to share with us?
Failures?
Yeah.
Bro, I took so many losses to get this point. I mean, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be down to sit down with you sometime. We can go over all that. But I'll tell you right now, like, that's the stuff nobody ever sees. Nobody ever sees what it took to get to this point. And so many losses and so many sacrifices and so much time grinding, working businesses on 15-hour days. You sacrifice relationships with family, relationship with girlfriends. It's all that type of stuff. It's just a matter of being an entrepreneur, and you either are or you're not. And it's just kind of like when the sacrifices come into play and you take a step back and you're like, yeah, it's nice to have all this shit, but at the same time, you could have maybe taken a different avenue and taken care of some relationships on the side.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of failures, bro. There really is.
Okay.
Comes and goes.
Now, how much do you have worth in cars?
I mean, the market's ever changing. I mean, you're probably looking at pretty close to M in cars right here. Definitely.
Really?
Right around an M. And that's a brand new Urus right there with 1,100 miles on it. And these three Huracans hold their values pretty well. So.
Right. And how much can someone make doing what you do?
Well, see, I work in the music industry as well, and I do a lot of promotional and advertising with the cars.
Okay.
I own a management company in music. Got some big names, big people around me, so it's cool to get them in videos and make money off the cars, and that's kind of what I look to do in the next year moving forward. I'm really going to push that hard line, and not so much rentals, but just more of advertising based, commercials for companies and things like that.
And any advice for networking?
Just put yourself out there. It's kind of what I said earlier. Put yourself around people without the expectation. You know what I mean? Don't go around people and think that you're going to get paid just by going around somebody that has money. You know what I mean? Put yourself out there and make yourself as value. Do like, biggest thing is find a niche, find something that somebody needs. You know what I mean? Where you can make yourself valuable to that person.
That sounds good, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Definitely.
What's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
Hey, my name is Rod, and I am a bus company owner in Hayward, California. Yeah, so we have a big fleet of buses, and we take passengers, customers all around the Bay Area. You know, wine country, casinos, Vegas, Los Angeles.
And what advice would you give someone that wants to get into what you do?
Sorry, I forgot my age, 27. You know, really nowadays the world is definitely changing, and a lot of people, I would say, tailor your career to your strengths. If you feel like you're good at managing, if you feel like you're good at science, if you feel like you're good at math, you know, just go towards something that really is your strength, and just keep at it. Really, keep at it, and you might fail a couple times down the road, but I think overall, you know, if you just stick to your gut feeling and your strengths, eventually you're gonna break through.
Have you had any failures along the way?
Definitely. I was trying to become a dentist earlier on, and I realized my grades were okay, but maybe they weren't on that level, like compared to my peers that succeeded in the dental and medical fields. And so I decided to take a chance with business, you know, and just managing and working alongside family. Obviously, we have a family business, and I kind of was able to smooth my way in there, and so far it's working out great. Love to go back to school because that was still part of, that was a strength too, but overall I think just, you know, stay at it and keep persevering.
For someone that's scared to start their own business or go out and become an entrepreneur, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Take a chance with anything. Nowadays, there's so many different ways to get money and become successful, and there's no deadline. I would say the biggest thing is no matter what age you are, there's no deadline. So don't put one on yourself. Don't think, oh, I have to become successful by age 35, 40, 45. I have to have one of these cars by age 30. If I don't, I'm a failure. No, don't put a deadline on yourself. Just keep working at it. And like I said, strengths, definitely. A lot of people like to just, go towards and do something that they've never even tried before, which is good too, because you're open-minded, but find a way to make it so that you have some prior knowledge and you have some experience. That goes a long way.
What car do you own here?
So this is the only supercar that I have, but I have another car coming in, hopefully in January.
Oh, okay.
So I've been waiting like a year. It's an E53. It's gonna be like a daily driver.
Oh, wow.
That one's like definitely not as big of a motor, and not as fast, but it's good for daily drag. This thing is not that comfortable. But hoping down the line, I'm gonna trade this in next year for the new generation.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're
Come
coming.
with like a carbon fiber or
Everything. Yeah, it comes with everything. It's gonna have like hybrid motor. You know how as we go on, they're displacing, they're down, going down with the V8s.
Yeah.
But luckily AMG's keeping the V8, so that's good.
So last question, what makes you happy?
Shoot, being spontaneous. Yeah. Because we all have a routine, right? At this point in our lives, we know what we have to do on Monday, we know what we have to do on Tuesday. It's really fun to do something like random sometimes and be open-minded, have fun with it.
All right, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. All right, take care.
Oh, wow.
So what's your name, age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Adrian. I'm 49, and I'm a medical device rep.
What can someone do to get into what you do?
My career, I would just say, as long as you have a degree and hard work, and then they train you to do whatever you got to do.
And what advice would you give someone that's scared to go out there and connect with people and start their own business?
Just take chances and take them as early as possible. If you have to move across country, do it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but at least you tried.
Right.
So I don't ever say no to anything. That's why I'm here. So just take your chances.
Do you have any failures you want to share with us?
Just not doing what you want to do. Saying no. So if there's a chance for you to go somewhere and do something, I would do it. Yeah, just don't ever say no. Just keep going.
And do you have any books that you recommend?
Books, I would just say all of your selling books. How to sell, how to move forward in life, and how to make money. That's the best ones. Yeah.
So we see here that you have an R8. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this is a 2012. It's a Gen 1 Spider. I've had it for a couple of years. So yeah, so it's been a good car so far. So it's almost time to move forward, but so far it's been good.
Do you have any other cars that you would like to buy in the future?
I've pretty much had everything that I would like to buy. I would think my next one would probably be maybe a coupe R8. If not, I could see probably doing maybe a McLaren. Just depending on, they have some issues. So if I could find one that's a good deal, I'll probably go for that one next.
What makes you happy?
Driving.
Driving?
Yeah. As long as if I'm driving on an open highway, that's the best one.
That's the best one.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There you guys have it. We had a blast. We actually met a lot of great people. They gave us great advice. We saw a lot of great cars. I don't know if you guys got to see that Pagani. The guy actually, he didn't want to be on camera, but he gave us some advice off camera and it was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe and we'll see you in the next video. There you go.